As we get into polynomial division, and especially long division, we will talk about two types today. We're going to use the same steps that we just did in this 5th grade math problem. So we're going to divide, then multiply, subtract, bring down our next term, and then repeat that process as many times as necessary. Things to know about long division: it will work every time. The other division that I will show you, synthetic, will not work every time. It only works in special cases. The next thing to remember is that we need to make sure our polynomials are in standard form, plus we need a placeholder 0 for any missing terms. So if we had a missing term, we would put in a 0, and we'll see that a little further along in one of our examples. So the first thing that we're going to do is take the polynomial x squared plus 6x plus 12 and divide it by x minus 3. Remember this thing as we start writing this, we're going to want our like terms to be lined up vertically. So I'll show you that as we go along. Okay, so let's go ahead and write our problem as a long division problem once we confirm that we have standard form. I have decreasing exponents, a 2, a 1, and then none, and then a 1 and none here. And I have every term. I have a 2, 1, 0, a 1, and a 0. So I'm good. I don't need to put any of those 0 placeholders in. So let's go ahead and do x minus 3. Remember to leave yourself some room between here and here, like right there, to put your quotient in a little bit. I'm going to have x squared plus 6x plus 12. And so the first thing I need to do is divide. And so in this case, what I'm asking myself is how many times will x divide into x squared? So let's come off to the side here and do that little bit of math. X squared divided by x is going to give me an x. You don't have to write that to the side if you don't want to, but for the first couple of times I suggest that you do. So we're going to write an x as part of our quotient, and remembering that like terms should be lined up vertically, I'm going to write that x above the 6x that's in my dividend. Now our next step is to multiply. What am I multiplying? I am multiplying x times each term in the divisor. So x times x will give me x squared, again remembering to line things up, and then x times negative 3 will give me negative 3x. My next step is to subtract, and what am I going to subtract? I'm going to subtract the entire polynomial. So put your subtraction sign, but then put parentheses around your whole polynomial to remind you that it needs to distribute to everything. X squared minus x squared will give me 0. I don't have to write that. X squared minus a negative 3x, well, that's going to make it a positive 3, and I can write that as 6 plus 3 is 9x. Now I bring down the plus 12, and I'm going to repeat my steps just like I did in regular long division. So I'm going to ask myself, how many times will x divide into 9x? So let's come over here to the side and say 9x divided by x, and that's 9. So that becomes the next term in my quotient, plus 9. Now multiply. 9 times x is 9x. 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. And I'm ready to subtract. Subtracting the entire polynomial, remember, not just the first term, but everything. 9x minus 9x will be 0. 12 minus a negative 27, well, that makes it a positive 27, so I get 39. Notice that I don't have any more terms to bring down. I already brought down this last term of 12, so we are done, and this is our remainder right here, the remainder. So when we write our answer, remember that it's quotient plus remainder over divisor. So I'm going to say x plus 9 plus 39 divided by x minus 3. So again, our remainder is this piece right here. Our divisor is this. And our quotient, the main part of our answer, is this part right here. Be sure that you understand what parts these terms refer to, because I will be talking about these throughout the lesson. So this is our final answer.